So architecture is such a broad and powerful subject. We'll be studying how the built environment impacts the people, the social aspect, the life, the activity, the businesses around it. In particular, we will be visiting two very prominent sites within the Kampala city area, one of them being the Wandegeya New Market. We'll also be visiting the Uganda National Mosque, the Gaddafi Mosque in Old Kampala. And there we will be more interested in finding out how this magnificent, serene space survives in the center of all this activity downtown.
So before I give you the history of the mosque, I would like to start from the hill itself, because when you're up the tower, you're able to see all the 7 hills that originally made up Kampala. So this is one of the 7 hills where the mosque is, called Old Kampala Hill. And this is where development of Kampala started from. As you're up the tower, you're able to see all roads leading to this hill. So the name Kampala was got from this hill, reason being it was a forest before, full of impalas. So because of those animals that used to stay on this hill, they used the name for the animals to get the one for the city. The last word impala comes from impala. And then we had the British camping on this hill. So to get the name for the city, it was a combination of 2 words, the camp of the British and impala of the animals. But because in Luganda letter C has a different pronunciation, they removed off the letter C from the word camp and they put letter K, which sounds the same. Otherwise, it will be pronounced as Champala. Then when we come to the history of this mosque, it was a foundation that was begun by the late president of Uganda called Idi Amin Dada. When he came to power in 1971, he gave this land to the Muslims, and the foundation began during his regime. But because he didn't have enough fund, it laid on the foundation for 30 years. So that's when the late president of Libya, Muammar Gaddafi, visited Uganda in 2001. The leader of Muslims requested him for the funding of this mosque. He accepted, went back to his home country, sent the engineers, then the construction began afresh in 2003 and finished in 2007. So this mosque has 2 floors. This is the upper floor where we are. Then downstairs, we have the ground floor. So the ground floor is the one being used for the 5 daily prayers. Then this one is opened for the Friday prayers, the Eid celebrations, and the wedding ceremonies. And being that in Islam, ladies don't mix with men, this is the chamber for the men, and up the balcony is for the women. So the whole of this mosque occupies 25,000 people altogether, and it's the biggest in East Africa. It was designed using 3 cultures. We have the Arabian culture, the African, and the European culture. When you look at the stained glasses of the windows and the doors, they are the same as the ones in churches. So they represent Europe, and those glasses were imported from Italy. It being that we were colonized by Britain, and this hill was their headquarters, that's why they used the European style. Then we have the wood panelings and the pulpit in front over there to represent the African setting, because our grandparents used to construct houses using wood. So that wood was imported from Democratic Republic of Congo. And then we have the chandeliers and the geometric designs on the ceiling representing Arabian setting. The chandeliers were imported from Egypt. Yes. So we have some of the writings on the wall, behind and in front. Those are the chapters from the Quran, which all have different meanings. Like we have one which talks about praying while facing Mecca. Then we have one which talks about how you behave when you enter inside the mosque, like maintaining silence and reading the Quran as you're waiting for the Imam to come in. And then we have also the one which talks about giving in charity to the needy people. Then when you look besides the wall, those are the 99 attributes of God. In Islam, we have 99 names we use when we are praising Him. Like we say Ar-Rahman, which means the most gracious, Ar-Rahim, the most merciful, As-Salam, the peaceful, like so on. So they are the ones written on the wall. Then when you look in front, we have two features. The one on the left, it is called a mihrab, and it's the one that indicates us the direction of Mecca. Wherever you enter any mosque, you look out for the mihrab and then prefacing its direction, because it is always built in the direction of Mecca. But the carpet as well is designed indicating you where to face when praying. You automatically know that this is the direction to Mecca. And then on the right hand side, we have the pulpit where the Imam who leads the Friday prayers sits. For the Friday prayers, we first have a sermon, later on we have the prayers. And that sermon is given in 4 different languages because not everyone understands Arabic. So that is Arabic, Luganda, English, Kiswahili. The whole service lasts for 1 hour, and what the Imam does is to speak Arabic and Luganda concurrently for the first 30 minutes, and the last 30 minutes repeats what he said in English and Kiswahili. Then the service ends with a prayer. So you sit and listen to all the languages until when we pray. Okay, like the noise around this place, I may say that the construction of the mosque helps in limiting the noise that comes in, because like we have the domes that bring out the echo when someone is speaking, or someone outside making noise cannot like inconvenience the people inside when prayers are taking on. So there is no any effect on the noise that limits the people from having their prayers from in here. Yes, and like when you look at the place where the mosque is, it's quite a big place, that it is the distance from the road to the mosque is a bit bigger. It cannot inconvenience the people in here praying. Yeah.